What I have observed in the comments is this: there is deep hurt, unresolved pain, and many necessary conversations trying to happen at the same time. And I want to say this clearly and concisely. I count it a privilege to be trusted with initiating these conversations. I do not take it lightly, the responsibility of helping guide us toward refinement, maturity, and healing in every aspect of our lives. These conversations are not random. They are necessary. And the fact that they are happening here tells me that something deeper is being stirred. Welcome back to Family Still Matters. I'm Deborah. This channel exists because family matters, relationships matter, how we speak to one another matters, and how we heal as a community matters. I ask you to listen all the way through, not to react, but to understand. Before I go any further, I want to publicly and sincerely express gratitude to the YouTube content creators at MTR, the YouTube content creator at DD Reactions, and the YouTube content creator at Beast Mode Smooth Reactions. These are respected, well-known, and influential voices on this platform, and I genuinely appreciate them for generously sharing my content with their communities, and may God richly bless you for that. I am thankful that they found value in what I do here, and I am equally grateful that many of you came over and also found value. That kind of generosity and visibility matters, and I do not take it for granted. I started this at 69 years old, and I am now 70. And it took a whole year of me doing content before anyone noticed. But my son kept saying, it's not that they don't want to hear what you got to say, Mom. They just don't know you're there. The algorithm is not pushing your videos. So I want to say thank you to all of you. And I want to be an encouragement. Just stick with it. If God gives you a calling or a message, just stick with it. What I've noticed is that many people engaging here do not fully understand my position or my calling. So I need to make this plain. My calling is to help heal relationships in our community. And that healing must begin with how men and women interact with one another. We cannot talk about family, marriage, or community while ignoring the fractures between men and women. There are men who come here deeply jaded, men who want nothing to do with women, especially women of color, and in some cases, nothing to do with women at all. That position did not come from nowhere. It came from being disrespected, betrayed, devalued, manipulated, rejected, disregarded, and repeatedly made to feel unnecessary. Many men have been made to feel like nothing more than an ATM, a free meal, someone to cover expenses, someone to be used, jerked around, and treated with utter disrespect. Those experiences leave marks, and pretending they don't exist does not lead to healing. On the other side, there are women who were taught clearly and repeatedly that they cannot depend on a man, that needing a man is weakness, and that independence means emotional separation. Many of these ideas came from feminist ideology that promised empowerment but only produced isolation, They produce erroneous and, in some cases, delusional thinking about themselves, their value, their identity, their relationships, their partnerships, and reality overall. At the same time, it must also be acknowledged that many women have experienced infidelity. Many have dealt with men who lied, cheated, used them sexually, or took advantage of their vulnerability. Some women have been emotionally manipulated, sexually used, and discarded. And because those are very real experiences, many women turn to the other way as a form of self-protection. Both realities exist, and neither side heals by denying the other. If we truly want to heal, we must relearn how to listen objectively, not listening through the noise of what we feel, not filtering what we hear through assumptions and past experiences or emotional reactions. This is where discord has broken down in our society. People are no longer listening, they're reacting. Everyone has to be right. Their point is the only point. I also need to make this plain. We cannot have mature conversations when individuals who are not ready yet enter the space with rudeness, name-calling, and childish behavior. If the content challenges you and you're not there yet, all I ask is that you be respectful, listen, and learn. I am not hurt by names. Hurt people often try to hurt other people, but this space will be governed by maturity and not disrespect. Because I am speaking within a Christian community, I need to say this plainly. Many believers spiritualize everything. As my spiritual father once said to me, do not become so heavenly bound that you are no earthly good. That was spoken to me at a time in my life when I was young, fanatical, and zealous, but without knowledge. We want prayer to replace responsibility. We want love to replace truth. We want God to fix what we refuse to confront. Healing does not happen magically. God requires participation. Faith without action leads to disappointment. That is why so many people feel the church and even God fail them. They were never taught that something would be required of them. I grew up in a home with a strong woman and a father who sadly had to find his voice and his place outside of the home. But my mother did not end the marriage over those indiscretions. She understood that marriage was a commitment. My grandparents were married for over 60 years. Was it perfect? No. Were there struggles, trauma, and difficulty? Yes. But they were committed. There were flaws in my father that my mother had to overlook, and hurt in my mother that my father had to endure. They navigated that with balance, and that balance taught me what I desired for my own life. I did not want a man who felt undermined. I wanted a man who felt whole in his home. And by God's wisdom, I learned how to seek balance. That balance is what we are trying to recover. I have always worked in service, but it wasn't until I became a teacher that I understood what fulfillment truly meant. Teaching was not just a job, it was a spiritual calling. It was the first time I gave of myself and felt complete in doing so. Some of the most fulfilling moments of my life were working with young men that others had given up on, educationally and personally. Watching them come alive when someone finally cared enough to see them and value them stayed with me. Young people today are hurting. Many are acting out because no one made them feel valued. Let us change that. Let us remind them, you did not just happen. There is a greater one who has purpose for you. You have a choice in how you will be used by the Creator. My desire is that everyone who comes here feels valued, seen, and loved. One of the greatest privileges God ever gave me was being a mother. That is my greatest badge, because when you raise good people, you help build a good nation. My mother taught me, and I taught my son, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Our words matter, our tone matters, and how we speak shapes who we become. This is Family Still Matters, because healing families means healing people. And healing people require truth, balance, commitment, and love. I'm Deborah. May God continue to guide you toward wisdom, understanding, and wholeness. And I look forward to seeing you next time, Lord willing, in the next video when we come together to grow and refine and make better families and communities and to be our best selves. May God richly bless you. And thank you for listening.